The story continues after the narrow escape of Marvin, recording the horrifying footage of an unknown entity mimicking human sounds and cries for help. This terrifying incident causes Async to be on high alert and think of their next step very carefully. Kane has done it yet again with another amazing video, with each of his new videos improving massively on the last, expanding on the convoluted and gripping story of the Async and the Backrooms. Hi folks, I'm R and welcome to the video. I'm too excited to cover this video, so without much further ado, let's get right into it. The events of the heart-pounding and near-death experience of Marvin, the cameraman, falling through curved pits, discovering a humanoid entity mimicking human voices, Async becomes horrified to how little they know of this misunderstood pocket dimension, not following the rules and laws of physics. In the last video, which you can watch by hitting on the card above, Marvin Ely, the cameraman for the last expedition on May 6, 1990, fell through a pit and arrived at a lower level where he experienced unreal and unexplainable events. He ultimately was lured and tricked by a mesh-like humanoid entity mimicking a man's voice, shouting and crying for help and if anyone is there, when the entity notices Marvin and relentlessly chases after him. In the pursuit, this entity utters unintelligible sounds, showing that it somehow manages to mimic what people say whom it encounters. So maybe the last person it encountered was shouting for help before it caught up to him and possibly killed him.
Hey! Can you hear me?
Sorry, can you repeat that? Marvin?
That's not a person.
What is that?
That is not a f***ing person!
What? Marvin, talk to me. What do you see? What's going on? George, come in. George, it's an idiot. Marvin, what's going on?
This entity was seemingly able to steal and mimic the last words and sentences of its victims perfectly. This leads to Marvin running with all of his might, filled with adrenaline, reaching the bottom of the pit he fell through, where his crew members help him get into the curve of the pit where the video ended. This video starts with a wide-angle shot revealing the Async facilities are located deep in the woods, far from any built area or town. All four of the explorers, seemingly including Marvin, from the last expedition in the Backrooms trying to expand their mapped-out territory, manage to safely get back to the Async facility, while a man standing in front of the gate slowly opening waits impatiently for their return. Marvin seems to have been rescued and pulled up from the curve of the pit, going back to the gate and still having the camera, which is not shown in the wide shot from them as the gate is slowly opening. So I'm a little bit confused to where they left the camera. The man waiting for them, although having his name on his badge obscured and not visible, seems to be no other than Ivan Beck, the vice president of the organization, who is nervously awaiting the safe return of his employees, anxious of what they encountered on their last journey. This man is hinted out to be Ivan Beck, as he is dressed differently to the rest of the staff in Async, having a professional outfit instead of lab coat or hazmat suit. He also resembles the stature and wearing the same outfit of the man who was overseeing them when they went through the gate to the Backrooms. Subsequently, the footage of the camera is quickly analyzed, directly plugging the camera into the TV, not even waiting to pull out the tape and render it. Meanwhile, another scientist, seemingly called Paul, goes on to report this incident as a high risk and high alert to the other parts of the organization, or even other associated organizations. Carefully analyzing and watching the recorded footage, bewildered to the sight of the new areas Marvin discovered, the suburban neighborhood, the out-of-place road signboards emerging from the floor inside a house, which doesn't match the exterior size of itself, the out-of-place cardboard boxes flattened to create a soft padding to possibly sleep on, and a pair of shoes. The scientists then soon witnessed a horrifying creature that mimicked human sounds and spoke in English, with the scientists' faces projecting the terror they are feeling. This leads to the organization realizing the danger they are facing and the narrow escape one of their employees made. As the result, they barricade the way just before reaching the pit room up to the point they had traced and mapped out by the yellow directional tape. They ultimately cover up the observational glass they had to the backrooms as well, with what seems to be blast blinds, waiting for further instructions and discussions before proceeding any further and until they are fully prepared for what could await them. We know for a fact that in the next few years, many people will disappear in connection to async discovering the backrooms and exploring it. What is not yet explained and depicted is whether async continued with their expedition and search, and how they tackled discovering the presence of hostile indescribable entities within the backrooms. For now, it seems that async put a stop to their further expedition and barricaded the territory they mapped out within the backrooms. They unanimously seem to have decided to stop for at least a short while before they are prepared entering the backrooms once more. By the looks of it, async didn't put a stop to their research, as they put a large budget on this project, and it definitely is a big discovery and breakthrough in science and space-time realm, finding a new dimension mimicking the real world. They also barricaded the pathway to stop the recently discovered entity passing through and entering their realm, but they definitely didn't stop their research as they left everything in position, not withdrawing from this unknown dimension. If anything, async is possibly awaiting further discussions and preparation before re-entering the backrooms, so if by any chance they meet entities as such, they would be more prepared to face them. This video also revealed a big clue to the backstory by showing the async facility is located deep in the woods, far from any town or easy to access area. This is of course due to their highly confidential research and discovery of a new dimension. Async, apart from trying to minimize the effect of any catastrophic incidents, they also seem to try and keep this project a secret from public knowledge. For example, if any component in the facility malfunctions and causes an explosion or any other large-scale danger, it could be easier to contain it far from civilization and minimize the damage. Also, keeping this project a secret prevents anyone from snooping around and causing unwanted injury or accident. And this project would definitely cause a huge controversy with many opposing it, as exploring uncharted territories in a new unknown dimension could bear incalculable danger and consequences. Later in the video, when an engineer is working on the glass and the blast blinds, he hears banging and dull sounds coming from the ceiling, something that occurred before, which the staff didn't pay much attention to, something the engineer checks carefully, seemingly being very cautious. This depicts the high alertness of the staff now and how something they dismissed before is now more concerning. Of course, after observing such a monstrous entity. The question the engineer could have at that moment could be whether that entity they observed on the camera footage is also present around them, causing the banging sounds to be heard. For all Async knows now is that nothing in Backrooms makes sense, and it contradicts the laws of physics they are accustomed to in their world. This entity, for all they know, could teleport and easily pass through heavy barricades, with time only able to tell.
That's not a person.
What is it?
That is not a f***ing person!
Right. Marvin, talk to me. What do you see? What's going on?
That's it for the end of this video, folks. Yet again, another amazing video by Kane Pixels. I honestly can't wait for what the next one entails. It's been your host R. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I will see you on the next one.